Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And we've got another viewer request today, and it is for the 1996 film Two If by Sea. Here is your trivia question for today. What movie does Roz state her and Frank have seen 12 times, and is her proof that they are uncultured? The answer will be at the end of this episode. Our film starts off with a car speeding down the highway, and we meet our main characters inside of it. Frank and Roz. Our main characters are currently being chased by a bunch of police officers as they have recently stolen a very valuable painting and are now on the run. Eventually, they do manage to escape from the police along with the painting. Then the two of them hop aboard a ship and start making their way towards their destination. Unfortunately, Frank finds out pretty quickly that he gets seasick. Once they finally make it to the island, Frank reaches out to the gentleman that's buying the painting from them. His name is Bino, and he says that he'll meet them in a few days. Now, while that's going on, Roz, who is definitely the more clever of the two, starts to look around and figures out that one of the individuals on the island is currently not at home. So the two of them decide to go to the palatial home and stay there for the next few days. Now, one of the issues they run into is a neighbor named Evan Marsh. He stops by to figure out who they are, and they try to convince him that they're actually friends of the people who live there. Fortunately for them, he seems to believe them. Unfortunately for Frank, he seems to have an interest in Roz. Now, can the two of them convince everyone else on the island that they actually belong there? All the while, they have to deal with a nosy neighbor kid, an FBI agent who seems to have a thing for art thieves, the local police department, and to make matters worse, Bino and his crew have found out the painting is worth a whole lot more, so now they're coming to town to steal it. So, will Roz and Frank be able to keep it together while also trying to keep their relationship together? This movie was directed by Bill Bennett. Dennis Leary, who played the character of Frank, was also one of the co writers of the screenplay, and he felt that it was an amazing script. He felt, unfortunately, that the reason why the movie flopped was because of the director, Bill Bennett, and his choices. Sandra Bullock, who plays the character of Roz, unfortunately discovered she was allergic to horses during filming. At one point in the film, there's a movie playing on a television. That film is the Thomas Crown Affair from 1968. What's interesting about that is Yaphet Kotto, who plays the character of Agent O'Malley in this, actually appeared in that film. Also, Dennis Leary would actually go on to appear in the 1999 remake. This movie was filmed in Nova Scotia, Canada. Throughout the film, the characters of Bino and his crew managed to steal four vehicles. Can you remember what all four of them were? Well, they of course start off with their Chevy Corsica, which could have been stolen anyway, but the ones that actually get stolen throughout the film are a Mercedes Benz, a cement mixer truck, an undercover police car, and a Haagen-Dazs ice cream truck. Now, here's a piece of trivia I was never able to figure out, but maybe you can help me. The paintings seen throughout the movie, most of them are made by Matisse. Now, I don't actually know for a fact if any of these were Matisse paintings or if they just looked like his art style. So, when it comes to the film Two If by Sea, I do enjoy this movie. I don't think it was a very good movie, unfortunately, but it really started off well, and I think it just kind of teetered off as it went further into the movie. One of the biggest things is I felt at points that it could have been close to feeling like a Fairley Brothers comedy, especially everything related to Bino and his crew, but it just didn't work out all that well. So I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. Now, if you did enjoy this movie, other movies I recommend checking out are The Ref, Trapped in Paradise, Raising Arizona, and Three Fugitives. Now, as for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode, what movie does Roz state her and Frank have seen 12 times and is her proof that they are uncultured? Roz states that they have watched Batman Returns 12 times. Frank clarifies, and it wasn't just that movie, in fact, it was multiple Batman movies. What I find funny, though, is Roz feels that that's uncultured, but she considers going to see the musical Cats as being cultured. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews. And if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments.